Hello y'all, this is SMB and today we are going to be checking out another son of a glitch video, a Sonic video, and we are going to be looking at the sequel of the Sonic game with Tails or Miles per hour. I'm mind blown as fuck right now. What is this guy gonna be sharing us with Tails? Is he gonna find a way to like make Sonic glitch so that way Sonic can like go all the way to the goal and defeat Eggman without Tails' help? Tails just gonna be stuck way behind or something like that? Okay, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Son of a Glitch. Get ready for my brain cells. Oh, fuck.
Son of a glitch.
Ooh, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2, long regarded as one of the best entries in the franchise, Sonic 2 still doesn't get off lightly where glitches are concerned. Not even close. In Emerald Hill Zone Act 2,
I was stuck on the Metropolis stage.
Loops. Simply spin dash and time a jump correctly to get inside like this. Inside
that just escalated so fast!
You get 5
he just
left,
went through the
around
wall!
The double loops and then dropped off this bridge. Or this even quicker death where you fall through the ground. There's a hidden part of this zone where if you jump out of the tunnel at a certain angle, you get clipped back inside the solid wall, which usually closes off behind you. But since you're still inside the tunnel, you get stuck like this. We're gonna be here a while, huh? In Chemical Plant Zone Act 1, get hit by one of the Spiney's projectiles and knocked into the tube. Because of the way you entered the tube, Sonic's physics get broken, but as you move around the stage, Sonic will snap to the tube he should be traveling and he'll always end up here. In Act 2, there are these rising platforms that if you position yourself correctly and push against the higher one like this, Sonic will be pushed inside the wall.
Oh, Tails got killed!
He came back and lose a life.
Why does it look like Tails had killed Sonic?
But things just got a whole lot more deadly. If you jump up and against this
Tails, I told you to fuck off!
Inside the wall and then bring on the bad times, as this is literally a dead end. With nowhere to go, you'll just have to wait. Well, that's 2 lives lost in 1 act. It's a good job the last glitch from the first Sonic the Hedgehog is present in Sonic 2.
I demand you
area and then just wait for Sonic
to listen to my
the end
orders,
and then jump into the spikes, making sure you have rings. Sonic will lose his rings, then drown, effectively losing a life, and then you'll be told it's game over. But nope, just kidding. Sonic's lives get glitched out, and now we have 255 lives to play with. If you collect another extra life, the life count will be 0, but really it's 256 lives and counting. And trying to go for this glitch, I also managed to mess up the sprites that say game over, so yeah, there's that doesn't make any sense. Moving on to Aquatic Ruin now, and in Act 1 you'll see this grounder at the top of the ramp that never seems to hurt you. This is because, for some reason, if Sonic touches an enemy while he's in a section of the level that's obscured by leaves, no collision will occur. Something strange happens if you wait in this pool of water by the grounder. When you're just about to drown, get hit and lose your rings, and Sonic will drown, but you'll be in control for a brief second, but then this craziness will occur. That face, it says it all. There are these swinging platforms, and if you stand in the middle of the second one, as it falls to the right, Sonic will be placed inside the loop. Hold left at the correct point, and Sonic will be zipped across the screen. This is just another example of a zip, but sadly, zips aren't as useful in Sonic 2 as they are in the original. Some of the loops in this zone have some weird physics at the top underside, like here, Sonic can run upside down. In Aquatic Ruin's fight against Robotnik, a weird glitch happens when you land the final hit on the first frame of animation when he's using his hammer. Instead of exploding like he normally would, he just shoots backwards, ending the boss. Also, Tails is doing something weird. Tails walking on the air like this isn't related to the Robotnik glitch. It simply happens when the totems either side of the screen mistake for this with Tails.
What?
In Casino Night Zone Act 1, there's a ramp that you can get fired into with a bumper. Hold left briefly and you'll be put inside the ramp. From here, you can stop inside this wall by holding left, and if you press left again, you'll be once again fired out of the wall. This one actually sends you pretty far out, going through walls that haven't loaded yet.
Are y'all seeing this right now,
This
guys?
next one is fun.
Are y'all
In Act
seeing
1,
this
you can
right
find
now?
an invincibility box and then head over to the left to find the bumpers
Are y'all
and this set of
fucking
spikes.
seeing
Stand on top of them and then hold down on the D-pad to crouch. When the invincibility wears off, Sonic will take damage and land on the bumpers to the right, and it'll be bouncing around while still crouching down. Take damage again, and now Sonic will bounce around while standing. My favorite part is when he stops his waiting idle animation and now gets bounced.
What is this?
I see you looking at me bouncing
Nah,
around. What? You ain't never seen a hedgehog just lying around?
It's just...
Also, Tails is doing something weird.
This is so bloopery.
There are times in Casino Night Zone where Tails just gets a bit freaky, sliding around
Hey,
along
freaky,
the floor with that vacant look in his eyes.
Bro,
Knock it
chill.
off, Tails. It's
Chill,
not cool.
chill for
Seriously.
saying that,
I don't
bro.
even know what he's doing. Casino Night Zone is the only zone where you can earn the maximum amount of rings available, 999. To win bigger slots, hold down the A button when you enter them, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get 3 matching symbols. Because no zone in the game has more than 300 rings in any given act, winning
Can you
over
do an
300
infinite?
rings won't give you an extra life like it should. Apparently that didn't stop me getting more rings though. I think this may have started something unhealthy. Over to Hilltop Zone now, and in Act 1, if you ride this platform down
Not
and
my
step off
favorite.
the edge at the right time, it'll fall down and take you through the lava. Hold left on the D-pad at the correct
How
point in the
do
drop
you
and you'll be pushed
do
through the wall
this,
to a later part.
man?
Directly after where this glitch drops you is the part of the
I
act
would
with
have
the cave
never
that tries
thought
to
of
push
that.
you. Go to the edge of the lava and then head back in the other direction. When you stand on this section of the floor and the
God,
ground
this
rises up,
zone
Sonic won't
right
be
here
squashed,
just
but when
gave
you
me
press right,
such
you'll be
amount of
ejected out
headaches.
the wall and then stuck in this area. The floor never drops back down again, even
Had
though
a
the rumbling
meltdown
effect
and
is still going
everything.
on. In Act 2, riding this platform without jumping when it falls results in Sonic falling to his death instead of being caught by the ramp below. There's a ring box that if you roll halfway into it without it breaking, then hold down and charge up a
fall
spin dash,
through
you'll go right
his
through it and
death
be inside
while
the wall.
standing
Then
on a
simply spin dash to the right
ski
and get
lift?
fired out of the wall again. Also in Act 2 is this room where if you drop to the bottom, land on the rising platform, then immediately take out the Rexon next to it, the game will crash. Conflicts in the game's code cause it to jump to a section of code it's never meant to, which results in invalid opcodes being processed and an eventual crash. In Mystic Cave Zone Act 1 is this swinging platform that will put you inside the wall, and pressing left or right will fire you in the opposite direction.
What am
Or
I
in Act 2 you can
watching,
spin dash under
man?
these crates to end up inside the floor. Press left when you get
Whoa,
pushed
oh
over
my
here and you'll zip
God,
off the screen.
what?
Some jumps here and there will get you further away. At the start of Act 2 you can stand on these spikes and use them as a platform to get yourself pushed up into an area above. In Oil Ocean Zone, if you take damage and land inside one of the cannons like this, Sonic's physics will be altered and he moves much faster. Not only that, Sonic's behavior on slopes and level platforms alike is completely broken.
Is he
Sonic maintains
Jesus?
the angle of the last slope he interacted with, which means most of the time Sonic will run in mid-air. You can use this slope glitch to go up walls using an elevated angle like this, but it'll take a while as in this instance Sonic is moving upwards in small increments. When you finally reach the top, you can backtrack to the long oil slides and Sonic gets a little stuck like this, just sliding back and forth on the spot and in mid-air. You can finish the stage like this by making your way up to this platform and then going off to the right, jumping up here and then continuing right past the signpost, only you're way up in the air and Sonic will have to come all the way back down again. The effects of the slope glitch stop when you interact with spikes, crumbling floors, green platforms and sometimes monitors, but Sonic will still move the same. This is such a fun glitch to mess around with. I managed to get Sonic upside down and do it. In Act 2 you can use the fourth green platform in this area to get up here and take damage from the spikes to land inside the cannon. Once again, Sonic entered the slope glitch state, so we now need to make our way up here and then get inside this cannon and fire ourselves to this section of Act 2. From here we want to head left and to this ramp with the bumper that we have to push. Once you release it, the bumper will push you through the ramp and then you just have to press right. Sonic will be zipped off the screen at such speed that eventually at the end of the stage and the camera has to catch up to you. This is called a horizontal underflow glitch or a level wrap, which happens when Sonic goes beyond the very first pixel in a stage. A level wrap can also be done in Metropolis Zone Act 2. At the beginning of the stage, head to this area and then take damage to land on the platforms that fall beneath the lava. As it drops down to this point, jump to the right to land inside the wall and then jump holding right, then immediately hold left to go through another wall and fall down to these spikes. Sonic should then be standing on the spikes, so now just tap right on the D-pad and watch the magic happen. Once again, you'll end up at the end of the stage. In Act 3, you can do the same kind of glitch, but the way you do it is more precise. At the start of the stage, go to this platform and stand part way onto it, and then slowly move back off it to the left. There's one frame positioning Sonic like this. If you tap right, he'll shoot left off the screen and zip to the boss at the end of the stage. This trick is very precise, but once you know what to do, it's a tiny bit easier and a huge time saver. Wing Fortress Zone has another use of the slope glitch, which you can activate by spin dashing on the second to last zip line before you fight Robotnik. If Sonic balances like this, you know you've got the glitch. Head for Robotnik and you'll see Sonic is once again running in mid-air or maintaining the angle of the slope he was last on. Using this, we can actually get inside the floor of this section. Get Sonic to run at this angle till he meets the floor and then keep tapping left, which moves Sonic right. Keep tapping left until you reach the boss and then make quick taps left or right until Sonic's feet are flat again. This will allow you to hold down and charge a spin dash to attack the boss. All the sprites for the boss are messed up because they aren't loaded correctly due to how you entered the area. Once the boss is destroyed, hold left to get sent right and you'll arrive outside. Wait for the Wing Fortress music to begin playing again and then you can jump down, but this has to be done in a certain way. If Sonic's feet don't touch the ground like they should, the game essentially soft locks. Like here, the cutscene is triggered, but only the sky is doing anything, and this just keeps going, and the death egg zone will never load. What you want to do is when you end up outside, try to get Sonic to stand up from being in a ball by moving right and then moving left again. Now when you jump, Sonic will land firmly on the ground. Well, I say firmly, what I mean is that he'll still be balancing because the slope glitch is still in effect. And because it's still active, this happens. Oh dear God. I'm just gonna let that one sit there a second. This happens because Sonic is currently in his balancing animation, but the cutscene has Sonic standing still. And since the game doesn't have a sprite for Sonic standing still and balancing at the same time, it just does that. Using the slope glitch, you can also get out of bounds and run off to the right, where you'll see old Eggman himself just kicking back in his spaceship. If you continue running right, Sonic will leave the screen completely. If you wait till the timer reaches 9 minutes and 15 seconds, then jump down and begin the cutscene, by the time you're about to reach the Death Egg Zone, the timer will run out. This puts you back at the last checkpoint you touched, which is most likely this one before the boss at Wing Fortress. But the cutscene is still in effect.
Sonic looked like he got chopped up in pieces!
During the Metal Sonic fight in Death Egg Zone, if you get the final hit at a very specific
is that Metal Sonic?
curl up into a ball, this will happen and the game will softlock, the worst time for it to happen at the end of the game. Something just as annoying happens when you finish a stage as Super Sonic with 50 or more rings. If you jump up in the air while still on the screen, Sonic will try to turn into Super Sonic as the stage ends and then return to normal.
Wait, how can you be Super Sonic? How do you be Super? I've never been Super
This only
Sonic
softlocks the game if
before.
Sonic is on screen though, as when Sonic is off screen to the right, the stage ending transition occurs normally.
Oh, is it because you get all 7 Chaos Emeralds? You turn to Super Sonic?
In two-player mode, it's possible for Sonic to transform into Super Sonic, although his sprites are glitched out, except for a few where he uses a spring or any other sprite that Sonic and Super Sonic both share. Okay, let's move on to some debug mode glitches. To activate debug mode in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, access the level select screen and in the sound test play the numbers 19921124. When you hear the ring sound, that means debug mode has been enabled. In Emerald Hill Zone, if you cycle through the sprites till you reach the one after the 4 rings, this is the large waterfall sprite tile. With this selected, move around quickly and then sporadically start placing them, and this should alter Sonic's color palette to green and black. It isn't just Sonic's palette that's affected though, many other sprites have black.
Is he trying to be?
In Chemical Plants,
Why is he trying to be Surge's sister?
Like this, the game will try to crush
Surge's
Sonic while
brother
using the spring, meaning you can see Sonic's death.
He looks like he's trying to be
he doesn't lose a life. Anytime you use a teleportation monitor in a single-player stage, it's bound to have some weird results, usually involving the backgrounds and layouts, but sometimes with Sonic and Tails. For instance, using a teleportation box to switch places with Tails once he's drowned causes Sonic to die instead, but he'll get stuck like this until he actually drowns. Well, this is awkward. There he goes. Placing an animal capture sprite and then using it in a stage ends that level.
This
but when you play 6 of them,
video is so weird!
Release them all, the game misses Sky Chase Zone and goes straight to Wing Fortress. Also, I managed to turn Sonic invisible. When you
He's invisible? He's a ghost now?
Release it, Tails' plane gets all kinds of messed up. Even the plane is like,
What? Now the plane?
When you
Tails
use Wing
is
Fortress, the stage
Tornado
end just says
is
Sonic got through zone, because Wing Fortress doesn't have a definitive ending with a signpost, so you'd never usually see this. After the boss in Wing Fortress, if you create 50 rings and then jump down below to trigger the cutscene, you can once again mess with Supersonic's sprites or jump around on top of the tornado's wings. When the final fight is over and Sonic makes a break for the exit, use debug mode to stop him in his tracks and then place him back into the stage again. And now you have some epic explosions following you everywhere you go. This isn't really a glitch, it's just a fun thing to do. If you use the debug mode at the start of Death Egg to get inside the floor and then press left for a brief second,
should I really be surprised if the debug mode
you can get the screen
glitches?
to wrap and you'll end up in space. Now if you place Sonic back in the stage, you can have the Metal Sonic fight in space. But it gets even crazier as this glitch has an effect on Robotnik's
Really?
You'll end up fighting multiple copies of the final boss for some reason, although some parts of the sprite tiles are missing. He kinda looks like he's only got one leg. You can even use debug mode to mess with the ending cutscene, where you still have some control and you can place items, but when it came time for the final part, the game just went blank on me. I think I may have messed around with it a bit too much. Anyway, that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and there are plenty of awesome glitches and fun stuff for you guys to mess around with. And if you like this episode, share it with everyone you know and love, but most importantly, please subscribe if you want to see more from the series. Head over to the Facebook page for the show. I post updates and sneak peeks to upcoming episodes and keep you guys in the know about all things Son of a Glitch. Or you guys can follow me on Twitter and keep updated that way. Also, I stream on Twitch whilst making episodes, so you guys should check me out there too. You know, if you want to.
I just have no words. That's all. Out of all glitch scenes, the part where Sonic got like decapitated and they showing his fucking body parts. What?